What's going on, Copper fam? Now, over the past few weeks, we've been looking into the relationship between art and football, and that's the reason we're out here in East London today, because we're going to speak to Grant Fleming, a guy who has taken some amazing photos of football all around the world, and he's also got one of the most intriguing life stories that we've ever come across. How did you get into football? I mean, was football a big part of where you grew up, or?
Yeah, I mean, it weren't a choice. Born in Tower Hamlets, lived kind of a lot of my younger life in Newham. I was about sort of half a mile from Upton Park. There's only one team you're going to support. And the first big, what I'd say, serious away game that I went to was in '73 to Liverpool, to Anfield. And that, I guess, was the start of the bug of travelling.
You were highly involved with the, let's say, active support as it came up through the 80s. We don't have to go too far into it. What was your role in all of that, if you can?
Football, everybody was obsessed with, and, as I say, part of the blood. So people with not a lot kind of will defend what they have. I used to go in the North Bank, which was known as our end, and I would climb into the roof like a little bird and sit there like perched in the roof, but where all the singers were and where the atmosphere was, and I was just absolutely, that's what I loved. And of course I wanted to see the game, but for some reason I was really drawn to that energy.
Do you think there's a correlation between that and the fact that you, for the next 20 odd years, you went around the world chasing, tense atmospheres, be it political or musical?
Yeah, of course. Having been kind of active hooligan meant that I was very used to sort of being in situations of conflict. And it's just something that, yes, does feel almost like an addiction. Somewhere like Arafat's funeral, that was just like being in a cup final crowd. I mean, it was a big pouring out of emotion. And I love the energy of crowds. I love the edge of chaos. I mean, I absolutely, love to be in the centre of it, wherever it is. For my work, I guess I actively pursued that. So suddenly I was in Argentina and covering Boca Juniors and River Plate.
And what were they like, those experiences?
When the ends, just filled with flags and banners and the teeth and that stuff. I mean, it's just phenomenal to look at. So to actually be able to be there and photograph it is a privilege, really. It's almost like a throwback for me. If I'm on the streets in Buenos Aires, or for example, I went to the Lazio Roma Cup final. Those countries seem to be closer to the darker days of kind of hooliganism, as you would say. You're getting some kind of buzz that almost you haven't felt for 20 years. So that's adrenaline, and that kind of that interests me. I like that. I like being in that situation.
Where's next for Grant Fleming?
There's a derby that I want to do in Morocco. Casablanca derby is massive, and again for that reason. The colour's incredible. They play in the National Stadium in the derby, and it's a whole display and it's a whole choreography. That's the next one, I think, from a football point of view.
Thanks so much, Grant. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.